Hello, friends. It is I, your host, Weston Hasty, and you're listening to Profoundish. I will be joined by my co-host, Alex, here just shortly. Stay tuned for the end of the episode where we are going to play a very special game show called Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Sandwich Edition, where Alex will have to build his ultimate sandwich for $1 million and then eat it. What does that mean? Stay tuned. Until then, here we go. You're listening to Profoundish. Welcome to Profoundish. I'm your co-host, your host for today, Weston Hasty.
And I'm Alex Duquette.
And today we are discussing, this is a very special episode.
Is it?
To me, yes. It's a very special episode to me. Probably no one else. It's not special.
What about me?
Probably not. This is, for you specifically, this is just another episode. But for me... Okay. This strikes at a topic very near and dear and true to my heart. It's a topic that, yes, yeah, that's right. It's a topic that I've spent...
It's close to your heart.
Very close to my heart. In fact, some say that we have two hearts. I think people say that. We have two hearts. We have one in our heart, in our chest cavity.
You have one heart in your heart.
We have one heart in your heart, and then your other heart, that is definitely not that other heart, is the one in your gut, your stomach.
Oh, well,
yes.
Oh, wait a second. Can I take a guess?
Can you take a guess?
Okay, hold on. Well, let me take a guess here. Hold on. So,
okay.
Well, I'm thinking, I know you love chicken.
That is correct, actually.
So, if it sounds like it's going to be a particular food.
It might be.
Is it sandwiches?
Today is the sandwich episode. Air horns and stuff.
There's just tomatoes and lettuce and just cheese flying everywhere in the air. Buns.
Everywhere. It's sticky. It's slimy. It's doughy.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
There's your slogan. It's sticky. It's slimy. It's delicious. You're listening to Profoundish.
I want to open. This is kind of like a semi-dream of mine. So no one out there listening could take this name. God dang it! I will sue you. I want to open up one day when I'm an old man and I've got more money than sense, and I'm like, I'm going to open up a chain of sandwich restaurants. I'm going to call them Hasty Subs.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. It's beautiful. We've talked about in the pilot episode how I kind of like to use my name for names of things.
We talked about it last episode too.
Did we? I'm just going to mention it every single time that I have an amazing name, and you should all be jealous.
I get it. We get it. All right.
And I also want my premier sub sandwich at my sub shop to be the Tasty Hasty. And that could be the one with the slogan. It's slimy. It's what I don't remember what we said. What do we say? It's
slimy. It's doughy. It's delicious. Or
it's
something
delicious.
Like
that would be perfect. So none of you can take it. That is mine.
Well, I like it. You know, you're right. We're going back to your name again. But just quick subs. You get in there. You get out. You're quick. Hasty
get
subs.
In, get your sub. Get the F out.
Right. Get the F out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Grab a napkin and leave. Get out of here.
I don't know. I don't know why I would use that accent. I'm not. What is that? Bostonian.
Yeah, but, neither of us are from that part of the country, but here we are.
This is the sandwich episode. How are you with sandwiches?
How am I with sandwiches?
Yeah. I guess I should preface that the reason sandwiches are so important to me, for everyone listening at home, I've worked at a Subway for untold millennia. I am the store manager of a Subway. I have eaten more sandwiches than you will ever eat in your life. I've made far more sandwiches than you'll ever make in your life. So that's why sandwiches are so near and dear to me. But as for you, what is your experience with sandwiches?
My experience with sandwiches? Well, it's a pretty straightforward, yet sort of complicated relationship because... I don't know. I mean, I don't have as much experience making sandwiches, but I do want to mention, speaking about making them, you've made a lot of them, but you got to admit, there's something special, even if it's a simple sandwich, when somebody else makes it instead of you. I don't know if you've ever experienced that since you're always the one making them.
Yeah, I'm the one doing all of the making. I'm the one making the experience special for everyone else.
Well, that's fair, but I will say sandwiches in general, I love them a lot. They're great in a pinch, right? It's really easy to experiment with sandwiches because the concept of constructing one's so simple. You know, I mean, you got your bread source, and then you can throw stuff in the middle and go for it. And I've done a lot of experimenting with that. Most of them have been failures, but yeah, a good relationship, I'd say.
I mean, it's true. A sandwich can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. So you said like quick. So I'm imagining you're the kind of guy that when you want a sandwich, you're making a quick sandwich. This is a quick snack for you.
Yes. For me, if I'm making one, yeah, a sandwich is going to be quick. It's maybe not a snack, but a quick lunch. Like say you're outside working, it's the middle of summer, you got to go in and make a quick PB&J or ham and cheese or whatever, right? Just something quick. Usually. Now, obviously, I do see it as a meal as well. I mean, I am a big fan of the establishment you work at, as well as other sub places as well. So I definitely see them as an actual full meal too. I just usually don't make them for myself that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because sandwiches are so versatile, they can absolutely be quick. And there is something magical. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? You can have your 2 slices of bread, whatever it might be. It's just some basic cheese, some basic meat. If you're not a meat kind of person, maybe some kind of meat substitute, maybe some tomato, some lettuce, whatever, something simple. Just a few ingredients. Kaboom! Alex is currently...
That was a huge kaboom. Yeah, let me preface this really quick. During our sandwich conversation, I'm in the midst of a very heavy thunderstorm, so I apologize if you hear thunder.
I love it. I love the sound of rolling thunder. But yes, if you hear absolute environmental catastrophe happening on Alex's end, just know that he may or may not be okay by the end of this episode.
But right now I am.
Right now he's here. If he suddenly vanishes and I have to finish the episode on my own, just know that it's been a good run.
It's been a good run. We're like the trio, the violin trio on Titanic. It's been a good run.
I actually recently watched Titanic. I went most of my life having never seen Titanic, and I finally watched it actually with my girlfriend the other day. And by other day, I mean a couple weeks ago now. That was the first time I watched it. And I did enjoy that, like, they all finished their song and they're like about to leave, except the one guy. He's like, well, now I'm going to stay and keep playing. And then everyone has to like come back. And it's like this beautiful moment. I want a story about them.
Yeah. Where's their story?
I want their story. I want to know how they came to the Titanic. I want to know where they came from. I want a Titanic 2 or Titanic 1.5. You ever see Lion King 1.5? That like in between 1 and 2. I want that for the Titanic.
That was such a clever idea back then. That was such a clever idea.
It was.
Speaking of Titanic, though, do you think? And I'm really just asking you this, since you're the sandwich expert here.
Yes.
Or just based on just general knowledge, if you might have this, sandwich making. Did you know how like over the years the way we've cooked food, and not even just the way, but just the things that we've generally consumed has changed? Like, do you think 100 years ago we weren't making sandwiches the same way? You know, like you putting different things on them just because of what was readily available. You know, that sort of thing? That's
an interesting question. I don't really know the origination of the sandwich and whether or not sandwiches have a history of being made with different ingredients as a mainstay. Like, obviously you can make anything into a sandwich. Like, anything can be made into a sandwich, but like the typical one you think of now is like lunch meat, cheese, bread, right? Like, that's a very typical sandwich. I don't know if there used to be a different kind of typical sandwich.
I don't know. I mean, because once again, I think would change it would be what sort of meat was readily available, or what sort of, you know what I mean? Because that has changed over time. I did a quick search. We were by no means experts. Well, actually, Weston is an expert, but I'm no means one. However, this says right here with a quick Google search, the origin of the idea of the sandwich was mid-18th century. That's roughly what they're saying. So between 1718 and 1792. between those years, apparently.
We may be looking at a very similar thing here. I see the bread-enclosed convenience food, known as the sandwich, is attributed to John Montagu, 4th Earl of Sandwich, from 1718 to 1792, a British statesman and notorious profligate and gambler, who is said to be the inventor of this type of food so that he would not have to leave his gaming table to take supper.
Well, that's kind of full circle, because here we are these days, gaming now, eating right at the table, right at the desk.
You know, that's actually kind of interesting. I don't know if I mean, when you think of like the gamer sitting at their table, you think like freaking bags of Doritos, Mountain Dews. Well, actually now it's like what, G Fuel or whatever the kids are drinking these days. But like you think like bags of chips. I don't see a lot of talk about sandwiches. We need to bring back the popularity of sandwiches in gaming.
Yeah, hashtag bring back the popularity of sandwiches in gaming.
That's a mouthful of of a hashtag, but it's also a mouthful of sandwich, so I approve.
Hey, you know, it's funny. I'm seeing one right here, just looking up these sandwiches. I see an egg sandwich, not an egg salad sandwich, but just an egg sandwich, and it's got bread, lettuce, and then like hard-boiled eggs chopped up, and then more bread. I'm assuming there's probably some sort of condiment on there if I were to guess, but I don't see one.
I'm actually a purveyor of the egg sandwich from time to time as well. Not egg salad. I usually do like a fried egg. Usually 2 fried eggs that I kind of like put together. A fried egg on, I usually make my bread toast. I usually toast my bread a little bit. And just cheese, the egg, usually some tomato, and if I've got some onion or pepper, and then like salt, pepper, and then probably some kind of hot sauce, usually, if I have it around. And slice that in half, diagonally, of course, not like a psychopath. How do you cut your sandwiches? I hope they're diagonally.
I'm not a cutter. I just go
you don't
in.
cut at all. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You'll
I'll take
that.
that.
Okay, that's good.
I'll accept that.
If I were to cut, I would do diagonal.
Of course.
If I were
it's the
to cut.
only way. It's the only true way.
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
So yeah, you mentioned cheese a second ago, and I want to kind of bring that back up. Cheese has to be. It's not required, I guess, but for me, it's a mainstay. Cheese is so important to a sandwich because the combination of cheese and bread, whether the cheese is melted or not, there's something about that combination. It's just so filling and hearty, and you know what I mean? It's just very heavy, and I love it. That's really, besides the protein, that's like a huge bulk of your sandwich.
Admittedly, you are the king of cheese. You are a big fan of cheese, for sure. So
I might have to talk about that some other episode.
I would absolutely understand your mainstay sandwich. I'm surprised you didn't mention it earlier. It would be just a grilled cheese sandwich.
I was going to ask you if I guess it is called a grilled cheese sandwich, isn't it?
I mean, usually we just call it grilled cheese, but I mean, that's what it is a grilled cheese sandwich.
It's bread, cheese, and bread. So yeah, I do love me some grilled cheese. I haven't made some in a long time. Grilled cheese is one of those things where, I don't know why, maybe it's just a nostalgic childhood thing, but I just remember growing up having it because it was probably easy for my parents to make. And now I really only eat it if I'm visiting my folks and my stepdad's like, hey, I'm making grilled cheese. Like, okay, I'll have some. Like, it's really more just fed to me than made. But it's always yummy in that circumstance.
It's like a comfort food, but one that you refuse to make yourself.
Exactly.
I grew up, I never make myself grilled cheese sandwiches, like, ever. I also don't eat a lot of cheese. I do like cheese, though. I do like cheese a lot, but not a lot of cheese normally. But growing up, when we had grilled cheese sandwiches, interestingly enough, my folks would make it with ham. So we'd have a slice or two of ham, but then just more cheese than ham. So, like 4 layers of cheese or whatever in ham. So it's kind of funny to me that would normally be, like, if someone said bread, ham, cheese, they'd say, well, that's a ham sandwich. But because we had so much more cheese, we're like, well, that's a grilled cheese. It just so happens to have ham on it.
Right. Yeah, ham's like, it's the, the accessory, not the accessory, but you know what I'm trying to think of. Just like it complements the cheese.
The ham is the condiment or something to the cheese sandwich that is grilled.
So speaking of that, for the first time recently, this is a few weeks ago now, I was on a trip with my significant other, and what we did is we all went to this beach house, a big group of friends, and we each took a turn one night preparing a meal. So instead of going out each night, we'd all have our night of the week to pick out to make food.
That's
It's
fun.
actually really fun. I like that idea. And so one night, one of our friends, they made super simple, but it was just Hawaiian rolls and then Hawaiian roll ham and cheese sliders. And I know it's a simple concept. I've never even thought of doing that before.
I've had those. That is simple. You can make a bunch of them. No, that works really well.
It's so good. You got your ham and your cheese, and they're little sliders. You one bite, don't chew, put it down.
Did they toast their Hawaiian sliders? We
I ate
used
them.
to. Yeah, no. What we
I
used
can't
to
remember.
do on like a skillet, we would butter our Hawaiian rolls, slice them in half, butter the inside, around the outside or whatever, and we'd toast them on the top, bottom, or whatever, just a little bit to get them like toasty Hawaiian roll, just a little bit to get them toasty Hawaiian roll. They're still soft, and that butter helps melt into them. Oh, they were so good. We would put some hot ham, cheese, and that's pretty much it on them, and that would be so good.
Oh, that sounds really good. See, there's something about like a bun, or like, for example, like at Subway, like you can get your bun like toasted, right?
Right.
There's something about the crunchy where it needs to be, but still soft where it counts. That combination is very satisfying when it comes to mouthfeel.
I definitely like a toasty bun or toasty bread. Lately, I've been making a lot of, it's actually just salami. Slices of salami sandwich with lettuce, tomato, onion, some peppers, and I toast my bread for it. Oh, and cheese. I've had some sliced cheddar cheese to put on it. I toast my bread a little bit, and I make that into a sandwich. And because I'm toasting the bread, it holds together a little bit better. Oh, and cabbage. I've actually replaced lettuce with cabbage.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's cheaper, and I like cabbage, so it works out. I usually rip off a slice of cabbage, and anyway, I put it all together, and usually that's a lot of ingredients, especially with like the tomatoes kind of wet, the cabbage can be kind of moist or whatever, and you get kind of a soggy bun if you don't, especially with like the salami's kind of soggy or whatever. You get like a soggy bun, it's really hard to eat, it turns into a mess, and you're like, oh my God, I'm eating a sandwich, but I might as well be using a fork. So I toast my bun, I toast my bread, and that helps like sturdy it a little bit more, and you can eat it. And actually, that has just been hitting the spot lately with some brown mustard.
Man, see, that's the thing. You think so much more about how these sandwiches are constructed. I'm not surprised. But you're honestly, just tonight, maybe it's because I'm slightly hungry too, but you're making me think maybe I should like experiment more. Because there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, there's so much. Oh, and pickles. I forgot the pickles. I put a few pieces
Love
of pickles.
Mm.
But yeah, there's just no way to go wrong with a sandwich in terms of what you put on it. You just have to be aware of how you construct it from bun to bun. Like I said, if I just made my sandwich without toasting the bread, the whole thing falls apart and it becomes a mess, and the whole sandwich experience is ruined. You want your sandwich experience to be unique to you, and you want it to be divine. Like, you can put anything on it. And it should be divine. If you're the one making it, you're putting everything you want on it, the things that you like. And some things go better together than others. And usually you have a pretty good idea of what that is in your head. Put it together. A sandwich can be like unique to every individual person.
It really can. And I can give you a great example from a time long ago. It was a sad Alex time. I was a little sad. I was going through a pretty bad breakup at the time. And everyone's got their comfort food when they say what?
I said the dark ages.
The dark ages, exactly. And everyone's got their comfort food, especially when they're going through some hard times and maybe even specifically a heartbreak. And one thing, I went to food and I went to cheese, okay? We already talked about cheese a little bit. Well, I made one of the strangest decisions, completely driven by sadness of my life. I went to the Amish farmer's market back home, and I got some blue cheese, and not like blue cheese crumbles or blue cheese dressing. I got blue cheese by the block, right? Now,
A block of blue.
a block of blue. Now, what's your take on blue cheese? Is that a yay or a nay from you?
I'm not a big blue cheese guy. I used to really hate the stuff when I was younger. It's grown on me a little bit. I can do blue cheese, but something about blue cheese is off and weird to me. And I do like some funky cheeses. I'm more of like a feta guy. But yeah, blue cheese for some reason is weird to me, and I don't know why I've never acquired blue cheese as a taste.
Well, for some reason, I always have. I love the sharpness and the almost the bitterness of that cheese. But so what I did was out of just pure, I don't even know I mean, I guess it came from just the sadness of my heart and the desire for cheese. I took a piece of bread, I sliced, I swear to God, it was a big block, but about a third of that block, slapped it on the bread, put the other piece of bread, and I just ate a blue cheese sandwich, not melted or anything. It was just a cold block of cheese on bread.
Oh.
And that, guess what? That's my sandwich. I did it. And do I regret it? Yeah, it wasn't too great. But it was one of those things where I took a huge first bite. I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to eat it. So I went through it, and I didn't poop for a week. But it was that's an example. You can go very complicated or very simple.
You really can. And it can be good
so
for you or
disgusting.
bad for you. But I mean, hey, like you said, you were going through some crap and you needed cheese. And you knew just the cheese by itself wasn't enough. It had to be a sandwich. A sandwich hits the soul. So you put that cheese that you desired onto buns and called it a sandwich. And I don't know if it really truly helped your situation or not, but it was there for you anyway.
Well, do you want to hear it? It's a story. It's a story about a sandwich.
Okay.
It's a true story, but it is kind of strange.
I
Do you wanna
like
hear it?
true, strange stories about sandwiches.
Okay.
I do want to hear this.
So, okay, well, this is actually a story told by somebody that you and I both know.
Okay.
It's a mutual, I guess I'd call them acquaintance of ours. We knew them better kind of in our early days of high school.
Okay.
This person's mother was a gynecologist, or probably is a gynecologist. So, we all know what that kind of entails. Well, there's this one particular patient that this woman had, who was a little heavy set, and the reason why that needs to be mentioned is because it can be kind of harder to.
Oh no.
Clean yourself, because you have a lot of body to clean, right?
Oh no, I don't like where this is going.
Well, the gynecologist was getting ready to do like a mammary exam sort of thing, right? And she
Oh no.
she lifted one of her breasts, and a piece of bread and cheese fell out from underneath her breasts.
Oh my God, I remember this story now.
You do? Okay.
I do.
This woman had a half a sandwich fall out from under her breast.
How does someone do that? How did it get there to begin with, right? Like, oh, I'm going to save this for later. Let me just hups the
listen,
breast over the sandwich. Yeah, we'll just store that away. Like, what even?
I've never understood the save it for later concept with the boob thing, because you'll see women sometimes they'll put like money like in their bra strap or like a card or.
Yeah, but that's going in there like bra though. You're not just like huffing your boob over it, right? Right?
Well, plus it also depends on the temperature. Was this a hot August day? Like, was it,
how
did
much
it just
boob
accidentally
sweat
stick
had
to
like
her?
how much boob sweat seeped into that bun, that bread? Oh
How
no.
That sounds like a hold on. That's like a thing that like a choir teacher would like have the kids like practice singing. Boob sweat into a bun. You know what I mean? Like
Boob sweat
aluminum,
into a bun.
linoleum,
Boob sweat
aluminum.
into a bun.
How much boob sweat into a bun?
Boob sweat into a bun.
Boob sweat into a bun. Boob sweat into a
Boob sweat
bun.
into a
Boob
bun.
sweat into a bun. Boob sweat into a bun. That's funny.
And especially to be discovered at your doctor's. I mean, I know it's a gynecologist, not like your like general practitioner or whatever, but like that gynecologist looking at you like, okay, so we need to talk
What do you
about
say?
this. We need to, right? We need to talk about this, right?
Because that's one of those things you can't leave ignored. Because it's almost more awkward if you leave it ignored. Because you both saw it happen.
Can you imagine the gynecologist just takes the slice of bread, just carefully puts it back where she found it and pretends nothing happened?
Or even worse, she picks it up. She's like, so how's your diet been? Then she starts to eat the sandwich.
So no, rolls up the cheese into like a fruit roll up and eats it.
Oh, that's disturbing, and I have a feeling that somewhere in this world that's happened before.
God, this has nothing to do with sandwiches, but it just reminds me of this one time. There's not much story to this. It was just more like I was shocked and appalled. where I was sitting at our local Pizza Hut before it closed down, the one in our hometown. And I was just there with my brother. We were having lunch or whatever. And we're eating. We're talking about whatever. And I look up. I've got a view of the bathrooms from where I'm sitting. I look up. And this larger woman comes out of the bathroom. Having been in there for I don't know how long she had been in there because she hadn't just gone in because I hadn't noticed her go in. But she comes out of the bathroom, no air condition, no whatever. I didn't hear anything, but she comes out, slice of pizza in hand, from the bathroom, and I'm like, were you eating? Did you bring pizza into the bathroom? Because you couldn't pee without consuming something the entire time. What were you doing in there?
So. I'm thinking, let's give her a little credit. What I'm thinking, just a little bit. What I'm thinking is what happened was she went, oh boy, I got some rumblies. It's going to be a while. I don't want my pizza to get cold.
I don't care how, you know what, if it's going to be a while, that's worse for me, right? Like, that's more exposure for your pizza whilst you're in there, right?
Well, yeah, and then you think too about, like, people talk about like air blowers and how a lot of these, like, are the is that what it's called? Air blower, where you like dry your hands?
Air dryers, hand dryers, yeah.
Like, a lot of that is like poopy particles, just all in the air, right? That's just what happens. So you're telling me that this woman is eating this pizza. There's poop particles on that pizza somewhere, or some sort of nasty particles.
And like you said, like, okay, maybe she went in there because it was going to be a while. Well, she came out still with pizza, so she didn't even finish. How much pizza did she start with?
Okay, well,
that's what I mean.
Well, let's break it down. So she goes in there with let's assumedly she comes in there with a full slice of pizza. Okay. Let's just assume it's an average piece, right? Pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, whatever. She sits down. Maybe she thinks it wasn't going to be a while, so she brings it in. She's just hungry, right? She sits down, starts to take a bite, but then things get a little rough. She's got to stop.
No.
So then she's holding the pizza. That's what happened. That's what
Things
happened.
get a little rough.
No.
You're sitting there like death gripping the slice of pizza for dear life.
Or the other thing is she. Oh shoot! I just lost my train of thought because I started to think about the death grip of the pizza. You're just squeezing the pizza,
white knuckling this crust.
Or the other option, I guess, I just remembered it, would be, what if she sat down and then she had some common sense and went, why the hell do I have a piece of pizza, pants down, because, but then again, if she did that, she should probably just have thrown it away. Because why would you want to come back out? If you had shame, why would you want to come back out with a piece of pizza?
Yeah, because it wasn't thrown away. It was slice of pizza in hand, man. And I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't do it.
Yeah, what I want to know, and maybe you don't remember this, but did she go back and sit down and keep eating that pizza?
I think so.
My God.
I can't say that I remember that part because this was so long ago. I just remember the bathroom part, and I was just like, I can't believe what I'm witnessing.
Well, right down the street from your Subway that you work at, I did work at that Pizza Hut, as you may recall. Yeah. And I saw some strange things come out of those bathrooms, so I'm not surprised by what you said.
But that's what that reminds me of. Pizzas, are they a sandwich?
Some people kind of fold them up like a sandwich.
Fold it up? Now it's a calzone. Calzone, is it a sandwich?
No, calzone is not a sandwich.
Oh, see, I was going to say it might as well be, right? It's basically like a pizza sub sandwich, but it was made into a pizza first.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't have a strong opinion on any of those things. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Do you have an opinion on that?
I did want to today, since it's the internet, right? We had to address at least one time: is hot dog a sandwich? I have to say no. Hot dog is a hot dog.
A hot dog is a hot dog. I probably lean more towards that myself. So not much debating needs to happen here. Somebody once said, I can't think who said it. Somebody once told me the world was going to roll me. And then they also said that a hot dog bun is hinged.
Yeah.
So sandwiches usually aren't hinged.
Well, that's the thing.
Then
yeah.
Subway sandwiches are hinged.
That's because sub sandwiches often are hinged, but they're still sandwiches. So just because a hot dog bun is hinged doesn't mean it's not a sandwich. That's actually a poor argument.
Well, then what's your argument?
My argument is that it's a hot dog.
Wow, that's some solid logic.
Yep. You can't argue. You can't tell me it's not a hot dog.
Well, you know what? You mentioned the internet. I mean, this wasn't a debate. I doubt this was a debate 100 years ago. A hot dog, good sir. Is it a sandwich?
I mean, did they used to call them hot dog sandwiches? Because honestly, if they did, then everything is lost to me.
Oh my gosh, maybe they did.
If I type in hot dog sandwich, I do get pictures of hot dogs on slices of bread instead of, instead of a bun.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
honestly, I think that's at the end of the day, if you call a hot dog a sandwich, it has to be a hot dog sub sandwich, and you have to wrap your head around the fact that a hot dog bun, which is exclusively made for hot dogs, is actually a sub bun.
That's probably the most solid argument is through what you just said, which was the bun itself. Because the only thing that goes on those buns are like brats and hot dogs and sausage. Like that's it.
That's what it's made for. So I think at the end of the day, honestly, if you try to create like this giant diagram of what makes a sandwich, if you rationalize it, maybe a hot dog is somewhere in the category of sandwiches, right? And in a very similar vein where like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. Yep. All hot dogs maybe are sandwiches, but clearly not all sandwiches are hot dogs. If you make a very similar argument to that, I really am not going to sit here and like fight tooth and nail to the death over it. But it's kind of one of those like philosophy dictates that a hot dog is a sandwich, but common sense dictates that a hot dog is a hot dog.
Look, I'm telling you, we were not having these debates years ago. Let's just get over it. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just take sandwiches, put them under our boobs, take a piece of pizza, go to the bathroom, and just be Americans for once?
America.
Pizza
sandwich on a hot dog.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is a very quick story. This is kind of a side tangent, but very quick about Pizza Hut. So when I worked at Pizza Hut, I remember I was there for quite a while. This is throughout high school, and I think kind of my first year of college too. And this was my first night becoming like a shift manager. And I remember being kind of nervous about it because there was no other hands there that night. It was just me and then brand new people. I remember that. And I was a little nervous, but it was going to be fine, whatever. They kind of threw me into that pretty quick, but because I needed someone to do that too. That's just kind of the way that how that business worked. They just needed people to fill in a role. So anyway, I was a shift manager, and I was a little nervous, and I remember, of course, this was on buffet night. They used to do buffets on Wednesday nights. And that was always stressful because you got to make sure you have enough pizzas out there ready for people to go, and then you need to have them more coming. Then sometimes people make suggestions, which if there's room, you can put some in if people suggest it. And it was always stressful.
Sure.
But of course, my first night being a shift manager, little Alex,
Alex,
we had a tornado nearby.
Oh, no.
Tornado sirens went off this night, and I was freaking out because I thought, what do I do? Do I need to do something? Do I bring people into the bathroom? Or let everybody know, bring your right. I ended up actually, because it was very severe, I actually did. I have to announce there was like 2 families in there at this exact time, and I felt, oh my God, I'm responsible for these people. That's how I felt. So we actually all. I don't think everybody went in there. I remember like I called my boss. My boss was like, protocol is you need to, inform everybody, take everybody into the bathroom, and then just keep an eye on the alarms, the weather, and then once it's kind of cleared up enough, people can come back out. So that's what we ended up doing. Just about everybody went into that bathroom. Nobody had pizza though, but I remember being very nervous, and then there was no tornado, and then we all had pizza and we were fine.
Yeah, those bathrooms aren't very big either, so that must have been an uncomfortable little while. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if it were me in your position, which I'm the manager where I'm at, so if it were me in that position, I've been like, nah, just let it ride. Eat until we die.
Why does that not surprise me?
Eat your pizza, eat your sandwiches, You'll see the tornado come when it comes crashing through the wall, and that's that.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a bathroom or like a basement or a safe? Shut up and eat your sandwich. It's fine.
What are you afraid of? A little 200-mile-an-hour wind? Shut up.
Come on. I used to walk to school the 200-mile wind every day, back and forth, with an ice block on my back.
We actually have a basement at my place, so I would have just had to. We've got a little table down there. I could have just cleared it off. We could have set up some chairs. We could have all kept eating down there.
That's right.
It wouldn't have been up to code because it's a basement and it's not exactly like, kept up like the lobby is. It's not gross or anything, but it's a basement. But tornadoes, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Speaking of that, I think the storm here is finally clearing out.
Nice. And as the storm clears, so does the next segment of our podcast. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by HastilyMadeDecision.com. Get your poetry fix from my poetry blog featuring haiku, senryu, freeform stuff, and more. Again, that's HastilyMadeDecision.com for your poetry fix.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by my music. I'm a singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Most of my songs tell stories, some real, some not, but all of them speak to an experience that we all share, the human condition. Search my name, Alex Duquette, on any streaming platform. Thanks for listening.
All right, Alex. Are you ready for this next segment of our show? Are you ready?
I'm completely blind to this segment. I don't know what's
lies.
What's
you are
in
not
store.
ready. You are a liar. You have no idea what's about to hit. You are not prepared, physically or mentally, or even spiritually. Because today you are on a very special show. You are our first guest for Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Sandwich Edition.
Would you rather be a millionaire with a sandwich?
Right. It's nothing like a certain trivia show where you become a millionaire. It's nothing like that. It really isn't.
Right.
It's a Would You Rather Be a Millionaire? Very special TM trademark sandwich edition. You will be answering one of several questions, potentially 12 if you make it all the way to the end. Okay. Where you answer, would you rather do this, that, or take the money? That's what we are playing today. You start with nothing.
Oh.
Your first question, if you choose one of the two selections that I present to you, you will earn that amount of money and move your way on up. And at any given time, if you would rather take neither of the selections I give you, you walk away with the money that you've earned so far. Do you understand the rules?
Yeah, sounds simple enough. Is this we're talking real money here, right?
We're talking absolutely real money. I have a fat stack of $1 million cash sitting right beside my panic button.
All singles, taking up half his room.
All singles. It's very toasty in here. You would not believe the insulation that $1 million $1 bills provides.
Nobody light a match.
I have a lighter right here. Just waiting to watch the world and myself apparently burn.
Yes, I get the rules.
All right. Alex, as our first contestant, would you please step on down? Your first question.
That sounds like a turn signal, but that was my footsteps.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Your footsteps sound like turn signals. In fact, when they recorded the audio for turn signals in cars, it was you walking down a sidewalk.
That's exactly right. You know my trivia.
I do. I'm well aware of your history in what's the in movies when people do the sound design. What's that called?
Foley artists.
Foley artists. Yeah, I'm aware of your Foley artist history. Question number 1. Would you rather, this is the sandwich edition, by the way, would you rather have rye bread or sourdough bread for your sandwich that we are about to build?
Oh, we're building a sandwich.
We are building a sandwich in this day's edition of Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Sandwich Edition. We are building a sandwich, and that sandwich, would you rather rye bread or sourdough?
I've had both. I've dabbled in both. I'm not a fan of either. I'm going to say, or not, I don't go toward either one. I'm going to say sourdough, though. I prefer that over rye.
You prefer sourdough over rye? I'm kind of rye guy myself. Is there like a reason you go with sourdough?
The main reason why I pick sourdough is because I've had it more often. I think I've had rye bread maybe just once or twice in my life. I've had
That's
sourdough
fair.
just in more situations.
They're both goofy kinds of bread. Well, that being said,
Yeah.
you have earned yourself 1 penny. 1 cent is yours.
Can I know what rye bread was?
What do you mean? It's rye bread.
How much was rye bread?
Oh, 1 cent. So long as you choose one
Oh,
or the
okay.
other, you get to move on. That will be
I
made
gotcha.
especially clear now that I ask the second question because you have 3 selections. Would you rather add to your sandwich bologna or salami, or would you rather take the 1 penny and leave?
That penny. Oh, that penny's. Can I put the penny on the sandwich?
Once you have won your penny, you may add it to your sandwich, but do keep in mind that you will have to eat the sandwich we build today before you can have your money.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. No, I'm gonna do salami. I'm going for salami, Alex.
Going for salami. More of a salami than a bologna kind of guy?
Yeah, bologna. I've actually, even when I was a child, never was a fan of bologna. Salami's got that kick to it. I'm still a frequent salami eater. In fact, sometimes I'll eat that as a little snack without the bread. Call me crazy.
Oh, okay. I like to add. I don't like to have those things by themselves. I like them on something. I'm kind of a big bread cheese guy, but I'm the sandwich guy, so that makes perfect sense. You're the weirdo here. You're the weirdo that just earned 10 whole cents. That's right.
Holy
That was
cow!
the 10-cent question. Next up, question number 3. For $1 whole dollar. This is the dollar question. This is when the real would you rather become a millionaire begins. This is your question. Would you rather add to your sandwich cream cheese or cottage cheese? Or do you do neither and take home the 10 cents you've earned?
I mean, I don't want to do cottage cheese, not on a sandwich. I like cottage cheese, but I like it on its own. You know what? I feel like I could manage a cream cheese and salami sandwich. Why not? I love cream
and
cheese.
salami sandwich on sourdough. Are you sure about that?
You know what, Weston? I'm sure. I'm locking it in.
You're locking in cream cheese. Ding, ding, ding. So far, you've locked in $1 of your winnings. How do you feel?
I feel $1 richer and 45 minutes dumber.
Well, you're not quite $1 richer yet because you're not quite done. You could be even more monies richer. The next question for $10 is coming up. Now, here goes the question. Would you rather take home your dollar, leave, and be done and just have to eat a cream cheese, salami, and sourdough sandwich before you go? Or would you like to add to your sandwich 3 cold and slimy hot dogs or 1 cold, hard potato?
Oh my God. I see how this is going now. Could you imagine just a cold, hard, just like russet potato?
I have to say that your safety is firmly in our hands. We have a medic on site in case you start to feel wheezy. There's nothing to be concerned over the safety of your potato or your hot dogs.
You know what? I've been more than one time called a garbage can because I'll eat just about anything once. So you know what, Weston? I'm going to throw. Are the hot dogs cooked or are they cold?
They are cold and they are slimy and they are not cooked, but they are safe.
Right, they're safe. Right.
Usually in America, we do not suggest eating cold hot dogs from out of the package. There are hot dogs. I forget what the brand. There's a jarred brand of hot dog that apparently you can eat cold. Anyway,
Yeah.
regardless, these ones for the show are 3. They are cold and they are slimy.
You know what? Let's do it. Hot dogs. Throw them on there.
Alex has added 3 cold, slimy hot dogs to his cream cheese and salami sourdough sandwich and moves on to the next round.
Oh my God, we got to get someone to like paint this or draw this kind of sandwich.
Draw me my sandwich. We'll see what it looks like by the end. Because it's going to get real weird real fast. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Next up, question number 5. for $100. Would you rather?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. We're adding up. We got to get to 1 million soon. There's only so many questions left.
God, if we're at 100, I mean, this is a big jump. I can only imagine what's about to be said.
Listen, right now, would you rather take home your $10 and eat the sandwich you've built so far? Or would you like to add some gritty, grainy dog food or some sloppy, wet cat food? One way or the other, you're eating some kind of pet food. Pick your poison. I mean, I didn't poison them.
I feel like I would rather tough it out with the grainy dog food. I just can't get behind the slimy or just the wet, cold cat food. I don't like the smell of it. There's been some dog foods that I've smelled that I'm like, I might want to peek on. If the dog's not looking, I might grab one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little num 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 num.
Little num num.
Actually,
so,
have you ever had dog food?
You've never had dog food?
No, I said, have you?
Oh, I have had a single piece of dog food, yes, but not like I think what you're describing right now. But I have had a piece of like crunchy dog food.
I've had some crunchy dog. I was a child, and we had a family dog for a while I was a kid. I forget when she passed, but I was while she was still around. I got curious one day and ate some of her dog food. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I remember not thinking it was great, but I wasn't completely like I remember when I ate it, I was probably a little bit older than what you were describing. I remember going, well, I'm not going to eat it again, but this isn't the worst decision I've made.
And so with that, are you locking in gritty, grainy dog food?
I'm locking in this gritty, grainy dog food. Let's go for it.
We are adding your gritty, grainy dog food to your 3 cold, slimy hot dog, cream cheese, salami, sourdough sandwich, and moving on to the next round. This next round, worth $250. Would you rather take home your $100, eat your sandwich, and leave? Or would you like to add 1 ounce of ground grasshopper?
Oh.
Or 1 ounce of whole but dead ants?
Oh! Oh! Holy cow! Whole but dead ants? An ounce?
And a whole ounce of ants. They're whole, legs and all, but they are dead ants.
How much with the grasshoppers again? Is it the same amount?
1 whole ounce of grasshopper, but it is ground.
Ground me that grasshopper and call me Billy. Let's go for it.
All right, Billy, we'll ground you up a whole ounce of grasshoppers. Next round, worth $500. That's what we're looking at so far. Would you rather take home the $250 and eat your dubious grasshopper, grainy dog food, slimy hot dogs, cream cheese, salami, sourdough sandwich? Or would you rather add to your sandwich 4 feathers plucked from a pigeon or a stick snapped into 5 bite-sized pieces?
Oh, for some reason, these sound more appetizing than the bugs.
You got to think about those feathers. They're soft. They're kind of like weird texture or whatever. Might get caught in your throat. The other one is a stick. A hard, crunchy wood.
A stick. See, the way I see this, if I'm going to continue to pursue this sandwich, these things I'm going to have to sort out in my mouth, and I might be able to swallow those little pieces of stick whole. It's cut up into 5 pieces, you said?
5 bite-sized pieces, that's right.
Okay, I'm going with the stick, believe it or not. I'm going to go stick here. I feel like it's going to be, I feel like, I'm going stick. I'm going to swallow them whole. I'm going to take them down fast. That's what I'm going to do.
That surprises me. If I was a betting man, a wagering man, I really thought you were going to go with the feathers. But Alex, I mean, what'd you say I was supposed to call you? Bob? Jim?
Billy.
Who are you? Billy. But Billy here goes with 5 bite-sized pieces on his ground grasshopper, grainy dog food, slimy hot dog, cream cheese, salami, sourdough sandwich, and moves on to the next round. This one, if you pursue it, is worth $1,000.
Holy cow, $1,000!
$1,000. We're on the home stretch. We've hit the 4 digits mark. That's right.
Oh, man.
But you can choose to walk away right now. $500, eat your terrible sandwich, and go home. Or would you like to add one of your favorite guitars, wood chipped down into sawdust Parmesan cheese.
Oh.
Or shave your head of all of its hair, burn it down into a fine ash black pepper, and seasoned onto your sandwich.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's right. The $1 million in ones are stacked next to me and real, and 1,000 of them could be yours if you
really
sacrifice
want this money.
only your guitar or your full head of hair. Which is it gonna be?
I want this money. What number is this?
This is worth $1,000. This is question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is question number 8 of 12.
So we have 4 more after this.
That's right. There are 4 more questions to go after this.
Weston,
Yeah, that's what's up.
I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Oh, he's
But
gonna
first of
say
all,
it.
I want to say, first of all, call me Alex again. It's okay.
I'll call you Alex from now on.
I appreciate that. Second of all, you know, I can't replace a favorite guitar, but I can. But my hair grows back.
That's right.
I think I'm gonna do the hair. I'm gonna go for it. I'm doing
Alex, you have chosen to shave your full head of hair, burn it down into a black pepper, to season your 5 bite-sized pieces of stick, 1 ounce of ground grasshopper, gritty, grainy dog food, 3 cold, slimy hot dogs, cream cheese, salami, sourdough sandwich, and move on.
I'm
to the
going for
next
that
round.
millie, baby. Give me that millie.
We are well on our way. You have 4 questions left. How do you feel?
I'm not looking forward to what happens after this.
I certainly would not think you would look forward to what is about to happen, because honestly, if you did, I would question your sanity. You can walk away right now with $1,000, eat your sandwich, and go home. Or, this question's worth $10,000. Would you rather catch and butcher your own chicken to add to your sandwich, or catch and clean your own fish to add to your sandwich?
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. You have to be a complete psychopath to do either of those things.
No, you don't.
You're a complete
They can be-
psychopath.
They can be done psychopathically. If that's how you
I
say
mean,
that
there's no
word.
way to do it without being crazy. You have to either catch, mangle, chop, bleeding chicken everywhere, pluck every one of its little feathers, slice up
Yep.
a hunk of its glorious once living flesh, and put it on your sandwich, or throw a rod into the sea, catch a fish, carefully descale all of its scales while it's living. I'm sure that's how it's done, and then slice off a whole thing of sushi there and slap it onto your sandwich. That's just a crazy thing to do. I would not expect you to choose either of these. There is no shame in taking the 1,000 and leaving.
Well,
what would you
I'll
like
have
to do?
you know. I'll interrupt you here. I'll have you know that I have, realistically, honestly, prepared fish from the point of catching.
Oh,
So, I will go with the fish. Boom! Give me that millie.
God, I didn't realize I was in the presence of a psychopath. This is ridiculous, but it appears, ladies and gentlemen, that Alex, sitting here before me, would willingly catch and clean his own fish, eat
I will.
a burned pile of his own hair shaved into black pepper, a stick, grasshopper, dog food, hot dog, cream cheese, salami, sourdough sandwich. Honestly, I didn't think you'd get through that hump, and I'm shocked and appalled. But you are, so far, $10,000 richer. This next question. Listen,
Oh,
I'm about to ask a lot of you.
okay.
This question's worth $25,000, but at any moment here, you can take the $10,000 and just leave. Or would you rather starve for the next 2 weeks before you're allowed to eat this sandwich and take your money home? Or whatever sandwich you concoct by the end of this, you must eat twice.
Repeat that one more time for me.
You're going to eat this sandwich, Alex. This sandwich is for you. But before
Okay.
you can have it and before you can have your money, would you rather starve, not a drop of food to be had for the next 2 weeks, and then the first thing you get to eat is this sandwich that you've concocted heretofore? Or would you rather eat it now after this show is done and over with and get your money right away, but you have to eat 2 of them? That's right, 10 bite-sized pieces of stick, 2 ounces of grasshopper, 6 slimy hot dogs, your hair will have to grow back, be shaved again, and burned again into black pepper. All of these sandwiches twice. Or do you starve for the next 2 weeks?
Weston, listen. First of all, could you call me Billy?
All right, Billy. Which one would you rather do?
All right. Okay. Thank you for calling me Billy.
All right, Billy.
I'm not walking away. I'm in deep, and I'm going in. What I'm gonna do?
Oh boy.
I am going to eat the sandwich twice.
He's gonna eat the sandwich twice, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause. He is going to regret that later. Oh my God, he doesn't know what the next questions have in store. Holy crap. But whatever this sandwich turns out to by the time we're done, you have 2 questions left. You will have to eat this sandwich twice, no matter what. Do you understand?
I know the rules. I understand.
You know the rules, and so do I.
I'm glad to hear that. You constructed the game. That's good.
All right. The next question. Final 2 questions. This one's worth $100,000. But before you get that money, you can choose to $25,000 you can take home. But first, you just have to eat the sandwich you've made so far, or you may continue. And here's what's gonna happen. I have magically enhanced your sandwich. It has powers. All right. And you can choose one of 2 different powers. I am a magician after all. You can choose to enhance your hearing. You will eat the sandwich. It will enhance your hearing. You can hear further. You can hear more deeply. You can hear specific sounds and pick them apart unlike anyone else can. But will have bouts of uncontrollable flatulence at random points in your life for random amounts of time.
I don't see the issue.
You can't control. Complete flatulence. It can last for hours at a time. Or you may have enhanced memory. Be able to remember things much more clearly and for longer periods of time, better than any of your peers. But uncontrollable bouts, random that you cannot foresee, of TV static beamed into your mind. You know, the old kind where you go to channel 4 and there's nothing playing and it's just random bouts of TV static. Could last however long, could hit any time. Would you rather have the enhanced hearing but uncontrollable flatulence, or enhanced memory but uncontrollable bouts of TV static beamed into your brain? Or you could take the $25,000 and go home.
Oh man, this is tough. Oh goodness, this is tough. I love static and flatulence. This is hard. It's like which one? I'm gonna go for it. I'm trying to think. I believe that I would have a much more peaceful life. At least I would. Maybe not the ones around me. If I increased my hearing and also increased my gas. I am going for that one.
Billy has locked in his enhanced hearing with bouts of uncontrollable
really quick,
flatulence.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Could you call me Alex?
Okay, Alex. I'll call you Alex.
Okay, thanks.
Billy has chosen to be called Alex. Anyway, I was wondering about this one myself, a little personally, because I know you're an audio guy. You're perfect pitch and everything. I'm like, he might lean towards hearing, but flatulence, you can't really hide from people. Like, that is going to be out there. People are going to hear you. People are going to smell you.
This is a really good one, to be honest with you. It's one of my favorite ones. I think the reason why that's going to be okay is I'll just be forthcoming with it. I'll just say, hey, listen, I have an issue. It's kind of uncontrollable gas, long story, that sort of thing.
All right. With that, your sandwich has the magical ability to increase your hearing, but grant you uncontrollable flatulence. Whatever the sandwich is, you must eat twice. You will have to clean your own fish and add it to your sandwich, burn your hair into a black pepper, eat a whole stick broken down into 5 bite-sized pieces, eat a whole ounce of ground grasshopper, as well as gritty, grainy dog food, 3 slimy cold and hot dogs, cream cheese, salami, and sourdough sandwich. So far, are you ready for the $1 million question?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Walk me through. How are you feeling about this? Are you nervous?
You know, Weston, I'm a little nervous, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what's on the other side, because if I get this $1 million, I'm gonna be so excited. I can pay off any debts I have. There's so many things I could do. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna call my mom after this.
Your mom? You're gonna call your mom?
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna call my
thinking
mom.
about your mom in this moment. The first person that comes to your mind is your mom.
Yes.
All right.
Is that a problem?
Not for me, it isn't, but it might be for you. You can walk away with $100,000 eating the sandwich as I have described it and go home. Or for $1 million, you must add to your sandwich one of your own toes. Or one of your mom's toes while she watches.
That's not true. Did you just make that one up?
Do you do?
Are you serious right now?
I was going to ask you, who do you think of in this moment? And I was going to wait for you to name a person, and that was the person I was putting in this question. You named your mom. So you must, if you want the $1 million, you must eat a sandwich consisting of, actually, because of the $25,000 rule, 2 of your own toes or 2 of your mom's toes while she watches. Which do you do?
Oh my gosh, imagine the smell.
I can smell the $1 million right here.
Oh, I know you can, and I can almost taste it.
But can you taste one of your own or your mother's toes?
May I pick the toes?
You may pick which toes. But they will have to be 2 of your own or 2 of your mother's, not 1 of each.
Oh, dang it. You know me so well, Weston.
That loophole is closed, my friend.
It is closed. He has an asterisk at the bottom of his notepad there. It says, if he asks, you cannot do 1 of each.
It's in the fine print.
I would never ask my mother to remove a toe or 2 for me to get money. Weston, there's no other way out. I'm going to be removing both of my pinky toes. I know, but not for me. not for Billy, okay?
Not for Billy's $1 million? What are you saying?
Yeah, listen, could you call me Alex? Is that okay?
Alex.
Okay.
Billy Alex. That sounds very close to Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish, what are you doing?
I will be removing both of my pinky toes and putting them on my sandwich.
Congratulations, Alex. You have locked in for $1 million. You must now eat a sandwich consisting of 2 of your own toes that will grant you enhanced hearing but uncontrollable flatulence, 2 caught and cleaned fish, your hair burned off twice and shredded into black pepper, 10 bite-sized pieces of stick, 2 ounces of ground grasshopper, 2 servings of gritty dog food, 6 cold and slimy hot dogs, 2 servings of cream cheese, 2 servings of salami, and of course 4 slices of sourdough bread. Here comes your sandwich. I will be mailing it to you by post. It will arrive in 1 to 2 business weeks. You will eat it, and I will send you the $1 million is yours.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I had this opportunity. I feel like $1 million already.
Delicious.
It's slimy, doughy, and delicious.
The Tasty Hasty, born right now.
We just constructed the Tasty Hasty.
We just constructed the Tasty Hasty. You didn't know that I was secretly using you as a plot to actually form my secret recipe for my Tasty Hasty sandwich.
As sick as that is, I'm equally as proud.
The unfortunate thing is I'll only be able to make it 5 times before you run out of toes, but those 5 sandwiches will be glorious.
And I only have so much hair.
Yeah, but it grows back.
Yeah, you can bulk up.
Yeah, we can give you some like testosterone or something that makes you grow hair. I don't know what makes you grow hair. I'll call Rogaine or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. You have signed the contract. You are now my ingredient refrigerator.
Oh, I love it.
How do you feel about your
that was really fun.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you. I wasn't sure how it would go. I wasn't sure what you made. There were some surprises in there for sure. But
you're telling me.
That has been Would You Rather Be a Millionaire Sandwich Edition. If you enjoyed this, let me know so that maybe we'll make make more of these. It was a lot
I
of
think
fun
I
to
might
make.
come back at you with one of these. That's fun.
Oh, that'll be fun. You can have at it. It is trademarked though. There will be a royalty fee if you would like to use my idea.
You got it. We'll talk about that off the show.
We'll talk about that off the show. Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Profoundish. I have been Weston Hasty.
And I have been Alex Duquette.
You can find us, the Profoundish Pod, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, Profoundish, at Profoundish Pod, hashtag Profoundish Pod. God, I'm not used to saying that yet. I will eventually nail that down, don't you worry. We'll have an Instagram as well, Profoundish Pod. Profoundish Pod, Profoundish Pod. If you would like to find me at anything that I do, Weston Hasty, you can go to my website, westonhasty.com.
Yes, and you can do the same for me, alexduquette.net. See all what we're up to.
That's right. All of our stuff is there and available. Thank you all so much for listening.
Leave us a review on
us a
your
review.
podcast platform of choice.
Share with your friends. But whatever you guys do, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.